The Chartered Accountant Student Journal, July 2020. News updates. BSE changes expiry of weekly derivatives contracts from Thursday to Monday. The Bombay Stock Exchange (BSE) decided to change the expiry of weekly contracts from Thursday to Monday for the equity derivatives segment. TCS issues notice for first virtual AGM. Tata Consultancy Services Ltd (TCS) kicked off the season of AGM through virtual mode. Disclose fallout from COVID-19, SEBI tells firms. India's markets regulator Securities Exchange Board of India, SEBI, directed companies that have publicly traded securities, including shares and bonds, to disclose broad-ranging details about the financial fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. More firms may opt for delisting given the sharp fall in the value of their stocks. More companies may seek to take their firms private. Anil Agarwal's Vedanta Ltd was the first off the block since the coronavirus pandemic hit India's economy. RBI proposes easier securitization loan sale guidelines. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) is proposing a new set of guidelines that would address the differential between mortgage loans and other loans securitization, simplifying regulations. Local banks to start rupee trading in overseas NDF market. The rupee is set to enter a new era as local banks including Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank and IndusInd Bank will likely start trade in the overseas derivative market, known as non-deliverable forwards, NDF. SEBI mulls long-term steps to curb redemption risks. The SEBI is considering a series of steps to reduce redemption risks, including increasing the minimum number of investors and a maximum threshold for investment per investor in a scheme. Higher margins for unhedged F&O bets from 1 June. Risk takers will have to pay a steeper price to participate in India's equity derivatives market. Traders betting on the direction of the index or stock without insurance will have to pay higher upfront money from June 1 when the National Stock Exchange's new margin norms kick in. India's GDP contraction to significantly hurt small businesses, says CRISIL. The expected contraction in the Indian economy in FY21 due to the coronavirus outbreak will significantly hurt micro, small and medium enterprises (MSMEs) across sectors, said a report by rating agency CRISIL. The report said that India Inc. is headed towards about a 15% decline in revenue and 25% fall in earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization (EBITDA). Meanwhile, for small businesses, the fall in revenue will be steeper at 17 to 21%, while EBITDA margin will shrink 200 to 300 basis points (BPS) to 4-5% as weak demand gnaws away gains from lower commodity prices, said CRISIL. Coronavirus pandemic shows need to shift India's focus to poor, report says. The vulnerability of the Indian economy exposed by COVID-19 emphasizes the need for an economic model that brings people at the bottom of the pyramid to the fore, according to a report. India needs to reorient its economic structure to make it much more people-centric and inclusive. Think tanks the Council on Energy, Environment and Water, and the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy said in a report titled, Jobs, Growth and Sustainability, a New Social Contract for India's Recovery. Enhanced import duty to give a big boost to agarbatti and bamboo industries in India. KVIC. The government's decision to increase import duty on bamboo sticks from 10% to 25% will open up new avenues of self-employment in the country and create 1 lakh new jobs in the agarbatti incense sticks industry in the next 8 to 10 months, Khadi and Village Industries Commission (KVIC) said. Wholesale prices declined 3% in May as coronavirus pulls down demand. Wholesale price entered a deflationary zone in May, falling 3.2%, as the month saw a decline in demand amid an economic hit in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. While overall wholesale price index (WPI) numbers were not available for April, in May last year the WPI-based inflation rate had stood at 2.79%. Among major categories, food items showed a slight inflation of 1.13% in May. But vegetable prices in this category declined 12.48%. Pulses continued to see elevated inflation even as it declined to 11.91% in May from 12.31% the previous month. COVID-19 impact: it is WPI deflation for the first time in 56 months. The Wholesale Price Index (WPI) entered the deflationary zone in over 4.5 years as it fell by 3.2% in May due to slackening demand in the economy, hit hard by the coronavirus outbreak. As this will translate into low retail price inflation at some point of time, economists expect the Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) of the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) to go for another 25 basis points cut in the policy rate to address the economic slump.